Hello out there guys, how are you? It's my last Erza video, finally. So I've been meaning to film this for like 3 months. And I did film it once, but something happened with the sound, I'm not really sure what. I recorded the whole video, imported it in my computer, put it on my computer to edit, and there was no sound. I thought about using it anyway and just doing like a voiceover for the whole video, but no, I don't want to. So here's a new video, my final Erza video. Basically, I just want to recap with you guys how everything works, things I would do differently, some things that I changed, and yeah, so let's dig in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the thing that everybody asks about, which are the wings. Wings! These are the wings. It's just folded over craft foam. I probably used like five of those foamies craft foam rolls. They come like in the big rolls, like $8 or $9 on Amazon, and just basically created a pattern for myself, folded over the foam, heated it with a heat gun to make sure it stayed in shape, and hot glued it together. The hot glue, the whole thing. If I could do that differently, now I would do it with contact cement. I was a total noob when I did this for the first time. The hot glue worked fine, but the contact cement is just a completely more stable adhesive, and it just holds things together a lot better. Now, these are slightly modified from my original wings because I was trying to make them a little bit more less expansive for New York Comic Con, but let's talk about what I did for Anime Next, which was probably the best way of assembling the wings out of everything that I've tried. They were the sturdiest. They literally lasted me from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. No issues. Don't get me wrong, they take up a heck of a lot of room, but most people are pretty forgiving if you try to crab walk through the crowds, which is what I did for the majority of the day. So let's come in close. You see this right here? Can you see that? That's focus. There's a 1/4-inch wooden dowel. It has since been sawed off. In the original version, it probably came out about this far. I would say it probably stuck out about 6 inches. This is an example. It's just a 1/4-inch wooden dowel, and it was basically like this. And then the rest of it continues up into the wing until about, I would say, maybe about like halfway through the main part to give it some support. And the way it works is I'll demonstrate for you with this wooden dowel here. On my final breastplate that I completed, that is full of red hair. I don't know if you can see that. Gross. Let's see if we can see here. See that little slot? I shaped around the warbler to hold the wooden dowel of the wings. So let's see if we can do this. This is a lot harder than I expected it to be. I'm singing a lot today, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. All right, so the way it works is the wooden dowel slides in, and then it just stays. And it's cool because it's got some bounce to it because it's got the wood and it's flexing. Probably if you put enough pressure, Probably if you put enough pressure on it, the wood would snap. But I was okay. I was totally fine for the entire day of Anime Next, like I said. That was the version of the wings I wore for Anime Next. One of the things I attempted to do for Comic Con was to make them collapsible. And so the first thing I tried to do was mount some balsa wood on the back. So you can see I mounted some balsa wood and some little brackets that they use for plumbing. So that way, what I was intending to happen was that I could remove the wings and hook them on the back of my breastplate while I was walking around. But then someone would have to take them off and put them on, and take them off and put them on, and I just didn't want anybody to have to do that for me. So that's when I decided to try the collapsible wings. Whew. This was a workout. The first ones that I made myself. I patterned the whole thing where they would expand when I pulled the string, and they were fine, but they still took up a lot of room. So at this point it was like crunch time for New York Comic Con, and so I just kind of crapped out and bought a pair online. They were these. They're super cheesy, so super cheesy, but the core frame was really what I wanted. So here's what I did. I took off that fabric that you saw. It still has like these straps that fold in like this so you can carry them around a little bit easier, but when they open up, they go like this. So this would have been on my back facing forward like this. And you may notice that there's something missing, and that's because they broke. 30 minutes into New York Comic Con, when I was being crushed by the crowds of people, they snapped. It was horrible. It was so horrible. So that was that. Other than that, they looked really cool. There's a little video clip of the wings in action, if I can figure out how to do it here. If not, I'll link to the video down below so you guys can check it out so you can see what they actually look like. Thank you to Beatdown Boogie for putting me in your video. I've been watching his videos for so long, and it was a super huge thrill for me to be able to be in the video. There are strings here with little loops. So when you pull this, you'd pull this around the side of your body, the outer wing would go wee, wee, and it was really cool. I was so proud of them, but they broke. New York Comic Con, you broke my wings, and you broke my heart. So let's talk about the bottom wings. It's basically the same idea, wooden dowel. Again, I don't have the wings with the wooden dowel, because guys, I was trying to change it. But here's what it looks like. So see, there's that wooden dowel in there. This is the bottom wing. So there was 2 of these, and they were basically, the wooden dowel was like this. So imagine like a duplicate one out to the right here, left. The side of the screen that doesn't have a wing, I don't know if it's your right or your left, whatever you're seeing right now. And this little middle piece was blank. So there was a wing here, and like a wing here. And there was probably, again, I would say like 6 inches of space on the wooden dowel. And that attached to the back of this skirt. So I have these little Velcro thingamajiggies that loop like that. Can you see? These 2 guys. So the way it worked was I would open up this, take the wooden dowel with the wings, and then strap, one strap there, and then the other strap like this. And it would keep it straight across. So that way, the weight of the bottom wings would be on my hips and not everything would be tugging on my back. Because even though the foam is not heavy, it's still added weight on your back that, you know, just through the course of the day is gonna get uncomfortable. It's gonna be irritating. And so I did it that way so that way it would alleviate some of the pressure. And then you get this cool like open back effect behind your breastplate as well too. All right, so let's talk about the breastplate again. It's a little bit different from the one in the video. I didn't film because it was like crunch time for Anime Next. This is probably the 3rd version of the breastplate that I did. The first one split right here because it was too thin. So that didn't work. The next one I made entirely of Warbler and it probably weighed like 15 pounds and it just was too heavy. So the final version, this version, is a core, like an underneath of sandwiched foam Warbler. So, you know, the way you normally do it, like Warbler, black Warbler, craft foam, black Warbler sandwiched together and then shaped into the same pattern that I used, but a little bit more space in between the boobies. And then I covered it with craft foam that I painted and distressed to look like metal armor. That's it! This front part is literally just craft foam, super bendy. It's not sharp so you don't poke an ass out. And then this piece I redid out of 3mm craft foam. So same cast resin stone that I made, but this is just little petals of white craft foam that I heated up to seal, but I didn't paint or do anything to. I used carpet tape for these little side pieces, these guys, little flappies. I put carpet tape on the back so that way it would stick to my body. Side note, at Anime Next, I was a little sweaty because I was nervous and they wouldn't stick. So right before my judging, I was panicking and went to the cosplay repair room and super glued them to my body. Not recommended. Spirit gum would be best, but honestly this carpet tape, I got a different kind of carpet tape that I used for my Raggio cosplay that I wore to Otakon, and it was 1,000,000 degrees there, and it didn't separate from my skin, which was awesome because I was, again, very sweaty, and it was very hot, and so I figured, hey, if it worked for that, it's definitely gonna work for this. So I wore it to Comic-Con, it stayed stuck to my body the whole time, removed fine, no irritation, so that was really great to use for that. And then the straps are just nylon, like backpack strapping. There's no stretch there, so that way it keeps everything lifted and up top like you want it to. You know, Erza's got some boobies. That's it, I think, for the breastplate. And then the only final thing I want to talk about were my shoes. These are my shoes of life. I wish I could wear these to work. These were my most comfortable shoes that I wore for work for years and years and years. They had really just paid their dues and they'd seen some stuff, and so it was time to retire them from work. And I figured, why not cover them with craft foam and make them into these super cool winged armored shoes. So they've got a little zipper in the back. It's all just craft foam except for these that I made out of Warbla, but they held up really well. I got a slight rip here, and this was only after wearing them to Anime Next all day, to Comic-Con all day, and out for Halloween one night. So that was pretty much the most destructive damage. The only other thing that did happen was I kicked one of my wings off. I kicked one of my wings off at Anime Next. I kicked one of my wings off at Comic-Con, and I kicked one of my wings off at Halloween. So if you are going to do that, make sure that they are firmly adhered. After Anime Next, which I used hot glue for, after Anime Next I switched to contact cement, but I still kicked one off. Just keep that in mind if you are wearing them out. Either bring a little thing of contact cement with you in case you need to do like a spot repair, or if you're at a con where they do have a cosplay repair room and they have hot glue or contact cement there, you'll be fine. But just a word of warning that did happen to me twice. They're not hard to walk in, it's just, you know, in the crowds it can get a little, you know, clumsy, and I did kick one of these guys off twice. Three times that happened. Other than that, I think that's it, guys. My first cosplay, I love Erza. I revamped her for Halloween so I could get a little bit more bang for my buck out of her. Here's a little video of what I did. But that's it for now. So since then, I've done Ragyo. You can check out how I did her wig down below. One of the next cosplays that I'm working on is Ahsoka from Star Wars, specifically Star Wars Rebels, because she's a little bit older, a little bit wiser. One of the things that someone had mentioned in a prior video was Mira Jane, her Hellfest. I think that I want to do that, but it's more wings, and honestly I think I kind of want to take a break from wings, so I'm not sure. But if there's anything you guys think that I should cosplay, I'm really looking to stretch my abilities here, so I'd like to do maybe something with lighting or some kind of other special effect. But comment down below, let me know what you guys would like to see, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks so much. Bye everyone.